Hello everybody, in this video we're gonna discuss the reasons why we suddenly find ourselves without having any friends. And basically I'm talking about the situation where everything seems to be falling apart all at once. I don't know whether you've ever found yourself in a situation like this where you think you've got like 5 or 6 friends, right? And all of a sudden, they just go away. They either become spiteful, or they become vindictive, or they say something and they really hurt you, or they become indifferent, whatever. The first thing I want to say is that people that exhibit those behaviors are not your real friends. So I would really like you to go check my other videos out. The ones that discuss different types of toxicity in friendships, and to basically educate yourself. So if most of your friends are toxic people, then I think you should rejoice and you should be very, very happy that they're gone. Okay, especially if they decide to go away and stop calling you and stop communicating with you, and they do it themselves, you're actually very happy. You're a very, very lucky person, and you should be happy, because usually they don't leave us without causing a lot of trouble first. So if you had a toxic friend, or somebody that you suspected was toxic, and all of a sudden they stop calling you and they stop initiating contact and they just, vanish, thank God for it. I am being very, very honest. You've just saved yourself a lot of trauma and a lot of pain. But if that's not the case, and you're going through a difficult period in your life, and it happens to everybody, okay, we're human beings, and sometimes life is not easy. And don't get fooled by people that say that their lives have always been perfect. There isn't such a thing as a perfect life or a perfect person. Okay. So sometimes life seems to be falling apart. Everything seems to be falling apart around us, okay, and everything seems to be going wrong. So I need to talk to people that are actually experiencing this as we speak. They think there's nothing positive around them, and they felt they had friends, and suddenly everybody seems to be either using them or distracting them from their purpose, or they're really vicious and vindictive, and they just don't know what hit them, and everybody seems like really negative and demanding, and they accuse them of things. Let me tell you something. When you move on, especially if you're in therapy, especially if you're dealing with things like self-improvement, when you're trying to grow, or when you find, you went through hard times, or you're going through some difficult times, and you realize that some things need to change, even if those things have nothing to do with your friendships, you just realize that, as a person, you need to grow, and you need to set boundaries, and you need to change, and there's some things about you that you don't like. Usually, these types of people, fair-weathered friends, toxic people, they sense the change. Okay, you might not know that you're changing, but they do. Because this is what they do. These types of personalities are very good at monitoring other people's behaviors, because it's all about manipulation, and it's all about getting their needs met. So they monitor their victims. Okay, don't get it wrong. I am calling you a victim, but please don't get offended, because this is how these people view us. They view us as victims. There isn't genuine love in their hearts. They just use us for a reason. and they're in our lives for a reason. So when we change, when we improve, when we want to interact with them on a different basis, a more honest basis, a more reciprocal basis, when we enforce boundaries, and sometimes we don't even know we're doing it. It's just that we're so inundated with things that have been going on in our lives that, we enforce boundaries and we don't know we're doing it. For instance, we've got this friend that wants to talk about herself all the time, and all of a sudden we realize that she's using us, and we try to distance ourselves from that particular person, and so they lash out and they become like really aggressive. So people that are manipulators, or people that are they're not in it for the long haul. Basically, they're going to get angry, and they're going to find a whole lot of excuses to stop you from improving and to keep you posted, because they want you like you used to be. They do not want you to improve. Any change is a threat to them, and they sense it. Sometimes people think, especially if you've got low self-esteem or if you don't believe in yourself, you think you've done something really horrible to them and you got them offended because they make a lot of noise. Truth of the matter is, you haven't done anything wrong. In most cases, when you experience that your relationships fall apart at the same time, and you kind of scratch your head and you think, hang on a second, I haven't really done anything. I haven't really said anything, I mean, why are they so angry? I mean, I'm minding my own business. I'm trying to get a job. I'm trying to move forward in life. I mean, this has nothing to do with them. I mean, yeah, okay, I don't get to see them when they want to see me. I mean, okay, but I haven't really done anything to them. Well, that's it. That's exactly it. You're moving on. You're prioritizing yourself is your priority now, okay? And this is what you should be doing. If you find yourself in a mess, in any type of mess, or if you want to improve as a person, you need to make some changes. This is very, very logical. It's plain logic. If you want to change something, if you want to improve, you move forward, and sometimes you need to spend less time with friends, and real friends will understand that. Or real friends will not get offended, because they will understand that you're trying to improve. And if they don't like something, they will come to you and ask you, okay, what's wrong? If they think that there's something wrong with you, or they will tell you in a nice way that, I feel neglected, or, you're changing and I need to understand because I'm a little bit worried. They will say things like that. People that just want to manipulate you and use you will never say things like that. Okay, everything is very, very personal. They take everything very personal. Why didn't you call me? Why didn't you go out with me? Why did you refuse this? Why did you do that? Okay, they point fingers. And usually they get angry. And if they know that you have low self-esteem, basically you're not too sure about yourself, especially if you have problem making decisions, and you've asked them for their opinions in the past, and all of a sudden you make your own decisions because you're growing. Or if they had a say in everything that you did, and they kept influencing you, and all of a sudden you think, no, I'm going to be my own person, I'm going to make my own decisions, I'm not going to use anybody else as a mirror, I'm not going to compare myself to other people. They don't like it, okay, because it's all about power and control. So keep growing, keep changing, keep improving. You've got every right to do this. You've got every right to change. If you're not disrespectful, if you're not hurting another person, you've got every right to make your own decisions, whether other people like those decisions or not. You do not need to justify yourself to other people. You do not need to run all your decisions by other people. Even if you have made the mistake that I made, that I was very open about my life, and people used to know everything about me. You know, if you were like me and all of a sudden you realize that some things have to be kept private and that, you know, you don't want to share everything, that does not make you a bad friend. So if these people are used to this set of behaviors and they don't like it, to the point where they get rude and aggressive and they threaten you in a way, they put so much pressure on you and they threaten you and they get angry because you know that perhaps you are afraid of anger. Some of us are afraid of anger. They don't want to see their friends angry because they don't want to lose. We don't want to lose our friends. Okay, some of us have problems with that, and we need to work on that. We need to believe in ourselves more and believe less in other people. Okay, this is what makes us adults. Just because we've got the age, it doesn't mean we've got the skills. So when they see that, they don't like it. And they're going to make a whole lot of noise. And some of them are really going to be rude and aggressive. And they're going to push all your buttons. Because they've known you for a long time. So they know that, for instance, if they get angry, you get scared. Your anxiety rises in within you. And they're going to do things like that. But don't be fooled. If they're not real friends and they go, just bid them goodbye.